Hi there. Yes, hi there. Yeah. Sawadee. So we have a lot of foreign guests. And the reason we're using English is because this event is being recorded and will be shared around the world. And so English is useful because it's the universal language. And when we want to tell our stories with the world, we use the language that is commonly used. Bila kita nak bercerita dengan diri sendiri, kawan-kawan, kita boleh guna bahasa kita. So, is everyone awake? Ready? Are we fired up? Ready to go? Welcome to Coffee, Planet, and Us. So, coffee is just one of the many produce in the agri world, and coffee is symbolic for us. If you allow me, if you can see it, I have a coffee bean in my hand. So this symbolizes everything that we grow, everything that feeds us. Coffee is just that symbol. And right now, coffee is something that is so commonly consumed. In fact, is the second most consumed beverage in the whole world after water. So coffee connects us. Coffee enables us to meet with friends, family, even colleagues, and work. We have conversations. Many things are created out from this experience of just coffee. And of course, it has evolved to a level whereby we are able to enjoy different quality of coffee, different experiences of coffee. And recently in KL and also in Thailand, we have coffee omakase, which is different types of coffee served as if like course by course. So, do you all know why you're here? Well, this event is created from the organizers based on two things: the love for the planet and the love for you. You as in humanity. We are humanity. So if they did not care about the planet or humanity, they would not put this event together. I hope you listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Tolonglah dengar dengan teliti, tapi dengan hati. And hopefully, you will understand why this entire event is based on love. So, you can see over here, the title of the event is The Cost of Sustainability versus the Cost of Humanity. The value of humanity. So most of us, the ones in the audience who are either running a business, owning a business, managing finance, will always look at cost. In fact, everything you calculate is based on cost. Even when the company hired you, or even the student when you start your school, tuition, you have to budget, you have to plan your finances. It revolves around cost. But you forget about the value. What is the value? You are the value. Your life is valuable. Your world is valuable. So if you only equate with cost with everything, you forget the value of everything else, including you. And I don't blame you, because from the day you were born, your parents probably told you, it costs so much to send you to school, it costs so much to buy you this, it costs so much to buy your milk or your Pampers or diapers or something. Until you're much older, it costs you so much to get a car, it costs so much to buy a house, and so forth. And so we forget about value. And especially in a business, most businesses are based on a very traditional model, which is what? Cost cutting, cost management, infrastructure, and framework. Because that's all there is in a traditional framework. And there's no real focus on value. So, but unfortunately, when you focus on cost alone, you are killing creativity, innovation, invention, and even humanity. Because your employee is no longer seen as a human, but an object, a tool, just for productivity, for KPI, to meet your targets and quota. And if we continue that way, there will be no value in living. It's always just revolve around cost. And the most common thing, regardless of what business you're in, can this be cheaper? Is there more discount? And you're squeezing every supplier, you're squeezing every producer for lower costs. Which is fine if you actually add value into your entire chain of production, entire chain of manufacturing. So if you don't believe you have value in yourself, then definitely you will not believe the world has value. And if you don't believe that the world has value, then definitely you won't think the earth is worth saving. But if we don't save the earth, and the earth is our only home, where are we going to live? Are we going to wait until the last bean is harvested, the last drop of water is drunk, the last tree is cut? Only then we start to panic. Are we going to wait until then? Or are we going to start now? Something to think about. Malaysia is just a very small country compared to the giants around the world. But I want to remind all anak-anak Malaysia that we exist long before the day of our independence in 1957. Our land existed before any foreign powers came and colonized us and named us this or that. We were here, fully independent, fully resourceful, way before anyone came. So 1957 is not Independence Day. 1957 should be the day we reclaim back our independence. And we are a rich country, despite what some people might say that Malaysia tak ada duit kan? And that we are so poor, but we are mighty in spirit. We are mighty in so many things. And you'll be surprised, the language and the wisdom that we have long before the term sustainability has become a trending term. ESG, CSR, sustainability is not a modern label invented by anyone else. Actually, our Orang Asli already had this way long before, hundreds and hundreds of years. It's just that it's not written down, because whatever that is shared between our indigenous people is mostly passed down through oral. That means they tell it through stories from one generation to another. And they talk about how we should value the earth. Bumi kita ialah ibu kita. Jika ia mati, kita mati. Translated, that means the earth is our mother. If she dies, we die. And this is from the Semai tribe. And from the Jakun tribe, they said it from a very long time ago. Always take what you need and leave for the rest. And this is our ancestral wisdom passed down from generations ago. So we do have a lot of wisdom. We do have a lot of talent. And we're counting on you, the young, all the students in the back. You are our future. You are our hope. In fact, this event is especially created for the future generations, for people that are going to make the world, hopefully, a much better place. So, our keynote speaker and the founder of MONO as well as COFEX is Kelvin. He's coming up to speak with you. And the reason why he and I are even connected, we go back a long way as friends, as well as me witnessing how he has transformed our coffee industry and our coffee culture. More than 20 years ago, you will not drink coffee like now you drink coffee. In cafes, in restaurants, in hotels, there's no espresso, cappuccino, piccolo, latte, whatever. no latte art and all that. Those things didn't exist. We had Nescafe, we had Bon Cafe, we have our kopitiam, but we did not have this type of coffee culture. Cofex came in thanks to people like Kelvin and all the people who were like him, his peers, because they believed Malaysia should have an elevated coffee industry and a new coffee culture. And at that time, Melbourne was the coffee capital of the Southern Hemisphere. And so they imported the idea of that coffee culture and started to put it on the ground. And he didn't stop there. He started to build barista championships and then got our barista trained to even compete in a world barista champion. What did that create? That gave jobs, profession, new credibility to coffee makers. In the past, who would care to see who makes the coffee? Did you care who makes the coffee at Kopitiam? No. Maybe the teh tarik guy because he was so awesome pulling the tea. But no, baristas are new. So without people like them who paved the way and made it possible and built the infrastructure to support an industry or a culture, we will not have the coffee culture or the industry today. And the reason why I like working with him is because he is sharing. He's one of the rare businesses that doesn't just sit back and say, oh, I've already conquered the market, I created it, now I'm going to relax. I don't care what happens to the rest. No, he didn't do that. He invested in the whole industry. He created other possibilities so that everyone rises. Otherwise, there will be no baristas. There will be no coffee culture. We won't even have cafes anymore. And to the Cofex employees here, the reason why he even hired me, because I'm a social impact investor, strategist, and trainer, and mentor. And I only work with companies and startups who really want to invest in the community, transform the community, and make a real lasting change. Not touch and go, not just a superficial band-aid, look good, feel good thing. So he values each and every of his staff in a way that he wants to enrich them. And he sees and values them not just because they are KPI or a target to meet or to squeeze more productivity out of them, because he believes that when everyone is working harmoniously and happily, becoming allowed to become and grow into their best, they will naturally create a very beautiful working space. And that is something money can't buy. So if you allow me, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Kelvin. And before I pass the microphone to Kelvin, please look up. You will see a QR code, and you can put in your questions for the with the QR code for Kelvin or any other speaker.
Thank you, Shelley. If there's one superpower I wish to have, is to be able to talk like Shelley. A very good morning to all my fellow humans who chose your precious time to be here. I chose to do this event, I chose to get on this path as a responsible human, a resident, a steward of our planet. Some of you may be curious, may be aware, may be searching, may already be awakened. I was at one point all the above. But now, I decided to be in action. I'm extremely thrilled to see that we have a full house. That's a picture of me and some of the stuff we do. But that's not important. Today we will be on a journey by an amazing panel of speakers who are masters in their field. We will begin with Felipe Croce from FAF on resilient farming, Paul Vaughan from Parkside on sustainable packaging, Ms. Jacqueline Wong from Zero Waste on intentional waste management, Ms. Irene Lim from Kian on sustainable furniture from waste, Dr. Janira Kumari on regenerative wellness and toxin-free living, and Dr. Leroy Ribeiro from India on biotechnology for a better quality of life. So as you can see, our panel of speakers will take you from how to do something that's good for planet, all the way down to how to do something great for our health and our well-being. So everything you see here leads from what we decide to do and how we can receive the good things in return. We are living in a time where the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat are increasing at risk. Not in 100 years, but today. So why did I choose this title, The Cost of Sustainability versus the Value of Humanity? We often hear sustainability is too expensive. Whenever I even suggest a better way or a better product, it causes less harm. The reply are typically always, will it cost more? But what is the real cost if we ignore it? So what is sustainability? It's living in a way that sustain life and not harm the planet, maintaining ecological balance and avoiding depletion of natural resources. For our existence of life, it's air, it's water, and it's food. Right? There's something there. You can be very rich, but we can't buy air. We can buy oxygen mask, we can buy oxygen tank, but we can't buy air. No matter who we are in this room, we all breathe the same air. If the air is clean, we all enjoy it. If the air is polluted, we'll pay for it. So what is the value of humanity? It's about the right to survive, thrive, and to protect and ensure future generations. How much do we value life? By looking at how much we invest in our children, we do care and value greatly. Isn't their future worth saving for? I can't stress enough that we are facing an existential crisis. All the signs are right in front of us if we bother to look. Carbon emissions are up, global temperatures are up, deforestation are rampant, we are taking in polluted air and drinking polluted water. All the signs are there, but we just don't feel it. We don't talk about it. We don't act on it. We don't take action. So humanity's comfort, consumption, and industrialization, economic growth has come at a very heavy cost. While we thrive to cut costs, while we try to make profits for our businesses, we are unawarely doing a lot of harm. So let's break down the cost of sustainability. Sustainability, as we know, isn't free. It demands us to make investments, it demands us to make sacrifices, and a mind shift of how we think and live. There's also financial cost to it. Yes, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, clean technologies are all expensive upfront. But if we don't pay attention to this, we will pay in the future times. There's also behavioral costs. It challenges us to change our habits. There's things we can adapt to, like The 6R, restore something. If it's broken, make it back, repair it. We can reduce something. We can reduce from wasting energy in your offices by turning off the aircon when you don't require it while you're going lunch. You can reuse something. You can repurpose something. Turn something for a better use. You can reformat something. Take something like a bicycle and put an electric motor in it, and you have reformatted it. And lastly, this is not the recommended way, but recycling could be your last option. So recycle, in short, these 6R of words help us protect the planet by making less garbage, save natural resources, and keep the earth healthy for you, me, and everyone else. Question for you. Does anyone know where our trash goes? Anyone put up a hand? You know, because you're in a sustainable business. Right? So it's Bukit Taga. It's not far from here. And because of its proximity near Sungai Selangor and Sungai Karang, it's already leaching pollution into the rivers that are part of our water source. So we are already drinking polluted water. Yes, it goes to a water treatment plant, but the source of this water are very, very heavily polluted. Don't you have some concern? I do. So there's also time cost. Building something sustainable takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Take, for example, of such a project that's very inspiring for me is at Maga Bakker in Copenhagen. It's a waste-to-energy power plant, this one, that not only process waste, so this power plant is fueled by waste, municipal waste. So it processes waste cleaning, but serves as also a dry ski slope, hiking trail, and a recreational center for the city. It took them a decade to plan, fund, and build. So when they started this project, the population, some people will say, you guys are crazy, because they have not seen something like this before. Like everything we do that is so different, people will still think I'm crazy. I've been called that. So it required innovation, engineering, a lot of breakthroughs, community trust, and above all, time. And now, today, it stands as a shining symbol that sustainability is not just about sacrifice. It's about creating new opportunities for people and the planet. And this building here was named Building of the Year in 2021 at the World Architecture Festival. Even in Malaysia, there is a company I've came across. It's called the Usher. They create a plasma incinerator. If you could Google. This incinerator can be had in anywhere, in the housing estate, even in our companies, if you have a space for it. It can incinerate anything, plastic, rubber, and turn it into fine sand, ash. And it only emits steam. And it also can be powered by solar. So there are technologies that's available, but we are just quite ignorant, or we are not aware that it exists. Where am I? Okay. So true sustainability asks for patience, more innovation, and a different mindset. Our KPI may not be just how much money we make in a business, but measured in impact. How much carbon, energy we save, how less waste we contribute to landfill that we send it to, how many trees have we planted, how many healthy lives have we saved, humans and animals. You get to experience many great creativity and innovation from all these speakers today talking about this. Here you can see our carbon emission, right? You can see that China is right up there, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia. You may want to accuse that, whoa, China, India, biggest polluters, right? But if you look deeper, if you look at carbon emissions per capita, it completely tells a different story. Malaysia is also a very high polluter. The numbers are now as high as 8 tons of carbon emitted by each person on average in Malaysia. It's high. We are not a big population, but by the look of it, we don't care so much about environment, and we are very wasteful. When I saw this graph for the first time, it shocked me. At the time, I said, we need to do something about this. How to make Malaysia, or how to make everyone here contribute to a cleaner lifestyle, that ones that produce less carbon. So the next chart here is the world and it's Asia. So as Asia, by looking at this, it's not too bad if you look at it. But if you look at the trend of this graph, it's going exponential. So that's what I'm looking at, exponential. So if we don't do something about it, it's just going to get steeper and steeper and steeper. And it will end humanity. It will end humanity because there is something, there's a world turning point. There is a conference coming out in July that we can all attend that will show you where we are at. I don't know exactly where we are at. So some scientists already said that we may be past the turning point. So, and in my lifetime, we've seen global temperature rise. I'm 55 this year, right? I've seen global temperature rise 1.5 degrees. In contrast, in the previous 120 years, it only rose 0.25. So, and the temperatures are affecting all our agriculture and our crops. We are just like a frog, being slowly boiled without us knowing it. And that's exactly what is happening now. So we can start by doing something about it and having more trees rather than buildings. So how does this devastated my business? We saw coffee prices rise, cacao prices rise in the last couple of years. Robusta cacao rose 450% in the last 2 years. Robusta up 260% in the last 2 years. Arabica went up 240% in the last 2 years. This is a big concern for my business. It's a big concern because, like Shirley said, coffee is the second most consumed in the world after water. So if you're not careful, coffee may just become a luxury. So climate change is already devastating. So the fight for sustainability is not about saving the planet from humanity, it's about saving humanity from itself. So let me debunk something. So when the title you see the cost of sustainability versus the value of humanity, is actually sustainability for humanity. We have no choice. But we have a choice to make things better. So sustainability, economic growth and sustainability can happen together. Green jobs, clean industry, healthy societies. You get to hear from all these speakers today to share with you how their business and the care for environment are both linked. So we live in a fishbowl. If we don't do something about it, we're going to pay its price. Sustainability has a cost, for sure, but inaction has a much higher one. But we do have hope. And the good news is, solutions exist. You get to hear about it today. We just need to make better choices. The cost of sustainability is measured in dollars today, but the true cost of ignoring it will be measured in lives tomorrow. I don't have a lot of time to talk a little bit on my mono journey, but just for a brief, I was really inspired when I went to Felipe's farm last year. I knew Felipe for more than 10 years, in fact 12 years. So all the journey when I went to Q grading school, how I met Felipe, has brought me to this point to be here today and talking about this to you. And all this I feel like is my life journey is being directed by something. But I think because I do have a heart to serve people, I do have a heart to serve public and do better good, it all linked and it brought me here to do this. And when I started MONO Origine, I decided that this brand that I started, I want to be for good, for nature and for humanity. M stands for mankind. The O stands for the planet. N stands for nature. The last O stands for karma. We can't expect good things to come to us when we are not doing good things to begin with. We can only expect things to turn out great when our inputs are pure and with good intention. So the next speaker I have here is Felipe. If there is one person that changed me, was Felipe and his family when I visited his farm in Brazil last year. Thank you.